Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Puzzle Foundry video. In this video we'll be covering how to create your own polygrams. So for those who don't know, a polygram is pretty much exactly the same as a crossword, and it is designed and built in the same way that crosswords are. The main difference being that you only have one clue for all of the answers. Okay. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to go to our website. So our website is puzzlefoundry.com, www.puzzlefoundry.com that is, and then you will be arriving at the screen over here. So the second thing you want to do is then to head over here to build puzzles. Once you are in, you'll see over here in the center we have your create crossword and create polygram. So for those who want to know, you can go ahead and go check out the create crossword video, also on YouTube. This one will obviously only be focusing on creating your own polygram. And then there's also the wikis for creating your own crossword and also the frequently asked questions. So yeah, once you're over here, you can go ahead and click on create polygram. Okay, so firstly let's go through the screen layout. Okay, so over at the top here you have your save slot. So the save slot, you can have 1 to 9 save slots, and you can overwrite your existing ones. So once you're ready to save your puzzle, you can go ahead and choose a save slot and then just save your puzzle in that slot. For the level T, this is to do with the difficulty of the puzzle. It ranges from easy to hard, and it's obviously up for you to decide how difficult your puzzle actually is. Then you have your languages. Here you have Afrikaans, you have Dutch, German, sorry, not Dutch, English, you have Spanish, Esperanto, and French. Then you have your clue or your title. So for this one, as I said, the main difference between a polygram and crossword is that there's only one clue for all the answers. So this one requires a bit more of thinking work and creative work. But yeah, once you have decided on your clue, you can go ahead and type that in here. We'll just go ahead and add fish here for no apparent reason. Okay. Then over here you have your list, your unlisted, and your promoted. This is your visibility basically, where if you publish or commit your puzzle, this will be the setting that you can change whether it's visible to other members or not. And the promoted is obviously for your puzzles that you want to promote. Okay, and then over here lastly you have your save button. Okay, so when we look at this little area over here, as I said, it's pretty much exactly the same as the crossword, in the sense that it has the columns ranging in this case from 1 to 6, and then you have the rows ranging from 0 to 5. Actually, 0, because you have the column 0 as well. So you can see here in column 2, row 0, we have puzzle, and then if you look at our little bar over here, which tells us where it is, there we see row 0 and column 2. The direction it is in is vertical. Then you have our answer here, and the given number is number 2, which is the second letter of this word, and that will be displayed on the puzzle when people solve for it. The rest of the letters that aren't embolded like this one won't be displayed. So yeah, when you want to place a word on the puzzle itself, this is going to be your main mechanism for this. So you can already see we have a spot open here, which is default. So let's go ahead and go and try it out. So we can add a word over here. I'm thinking of adding drum. So it will be in row 1 and in column 4. So row 1, there it already is, and then it will be in column 4. Okay, so for this one it will be in a vertical direction, so it's in column, and then we said the word will be drum. And then so far we don't have anything that's given, so let's give them number 2 of that word. So obviously not number 2, number 1 of that word. So obviously it starts with B-R-U-M, where D will be the first letter, R will be the second letter, U will be the third letter, and M will be the last letter, etc. The same would go for puzzle, where P is your first letter, U is your second, Z is your third, etc. Okay, So I want to head over to the special functions area. The special functions area is something that you can use to help you create and design your own puzzles. Okay, so one thing I do need to mention as well is that the special functions are mostly only available to users, full members. Okay. So the thesaurus is something that's pretty simple. It's basically just an option that gives you synonyms and similar words to the word that you already have. So that might be a useful mode for solving. Then for the word patterns. The word pattern, how it works is if you're looking for a specific word, or say for instance you want to fill this space over here. Okay, so you have an L and you have open space and the M over here. Okay, and you decide that this will be your first letter, so that you have an L, and then you can use a question mark or a star to indicate that there's a space open. Okay, then you type your M, and then you can add, say for instance, two more letters, and then you can type, click on word search. This then will give you words with the same kind of structure, so it consists of an L in the beginning, open space, M, and then two open spaces. So we have a few words over here: lame, lamer, lamia, laps, lemma, lemmy, lemon, lemur, limbo, and so on. So what we can add in here, I think we can add limit. The function you have to use then will be your place word on puzzle. So if you type in limit over here, and also make sure that allow unresolved placements is unchecked. If this is checked, this will cause placements to kind of fall over each other, and thus it won't be viable to be posted onto the site. And the expand puzzle, which just grows the puzzle a bit bigger every time. So if I do that, it's going to add it immediately for me in this little space over there, and then you have your word. Then obviously you can just go over here and you can say you can give them maybe M, which is the fourth letter, and then you can click on display puzzle, and then you'll have that. Oh, M is the third letter, my mistake. So if we just fix that, there we go. So then we can see that we have a kind of a puzzle already being formed and built over here. Next we have our anagrams. So anagrams are basically words that's just been reshuffled to give you a new word with the same amount of letters and the same letters. So if you type in tab and press word search, it's going to give you tab and bat. So that's just another word that's also the same amount of letters, the same letters, and it's just a different word. Then we have our prefix. So prefix is pretty simple. It's just the initial part of the word that you're searching for. So if you type in re and press word search, it's going to give you all the words that starts with re, and then you can use that. Then we have our substring, which is just a word or a sequence of letters within a word that you can look for. So I use the example of tram here, and I press word search. You can see we have a bunch of words over here, like pastrami, which is the word tram in there, or tramper over here, which is also the word tram in there. So that's going to also be a very useful function. Lastly, we have our suffixes. So suffixes is basically the same as our prefix, but it only uses the end part of the word. So if I use ed, for example, then it will give you some examples of ed, words that end in ed that you could possibly use. And lastly, we have words with similar spelling. So if I type in revenue, and I press word search, it's going to give me words with similar spellings to revenue. So revenue, and revenge, those are the similar spellings. There's not a lot of examples here, but you kind of get the idea with revenge over here. I also went ahead and changed the clue, the title, for the puzzle, because fish won't be a valid one. and then I put the save slot to number 3. So if you're all done and you're pretty sure you have everything you need and you want, you can go ahead and click on save, which will confirm your save over here in this tab. So polygram number 3 data saved. The word density is 42.9%, and then you can press commit over here to upload it for other users to also be able to solve the puzzles. You can always go back and come back another time to build puzzles, where you'll be able to find your polygram over here. So puzzles you are engaged with, the one that we are busy with currently. If you then click on edit, you can go back inside and you can continue editing. And it also has the commit button over here where you can upload it. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you learned a bit more about how to create your own polygram puzzle on Puzzle Foundry. So far we went through the layout of the screen, we went through the design and structure of the polygram itself, how to place words, how to give the given numbers, and the direction it is, whatnot. And then we have the place word and puzzle function, which we looked at, and lastly we have our display puzzle button over here and our unique functions that you can be using. And then we went ahead and looked at how to save and load and edit, as well as commit your puzzle. So thank you guys so much for watching once again, and we hope to see some new polygrams emerging soon on Puzzle Foundry.